Well, hello all. Hopefully you are here and joining me. It says we're connecting, so fingers crossed. Oh, hey, we're looking good. So if anybody is there to join me, say hello. I think we have got a bit of a delay on me talking and you getting to see it. So tonight we are going to be going through a couple of our latest releases, and obviously no new ones today for a change. Evening, Amanda, you're on holiday. What are you doing on here watching me? You should be enjoying that beautiful weather wherever you are. Mauritius, I believe. But thank you for joining me anyway. So yeah, we're going to go quickly through some of the bits and pieces, let you know about some that have gone out of stock that are back in stock. Do a little bit of a demo. Good evening, Karen. Thank you, Martin. But some news for you is, hello, Jules. We have an early bird bank holiday sale, which has started exactly now. It's running until Saturday evening, which I think is the 23rd at 10 p.m. And yeah, so sorry, Amanda's just posted. Amanda's in a beautiful place called Mauritius, and she said beautiful weather. It's been awful, tropical storm, but sun back tomorrow. Fingers crossed, Amanda. It will be a beautiful day tomorrow for you. Good evening, Michelle. Yeah, so we're going to be using some of the new bits and pieces today, and some of our older pieces. Well, they're not that old actually, but as I was saying, the early bird bank holiday sale has started. It is live on the website now, and it runs until evening, Tina, until Saturday evening at 10 p.m. Hello, Carol. So let's have a quick look, shall we? Now, I've got it all laid out as to what we're going to be doing. Yeah, I think we'll do it first. No, we won't. We'll do the dies first. So as you'll see, I'm going to move this to one side for a moment. Bear with me all, everybody. Good evening, Dawn. Without dropping it, let's hope. Okay, it might all fall, but if it does, I'll just get up and pick it all up. Let's hope it doesn't all fall. We'll just pray. Right, so let's flip the camera around. The countdown clock has started for our sale, those of you that missed it. So let me spin around to this one. So if I take that off, it gives us a bigger screen. There we go. Right, so in case you missed it and you missed out, a couple of our dies are coming back in stock. They're available. Hello, Carol. They're available to pre-order on our website. They will be with us roughly around the 31st of August. So believe it or not, that is less than 2 weeks away. Evening, Lynn. Hope you had a fabulous holiday. I'm assuming you're back now. Right. So first of all, the hexagon die. Good evening, Brenda. That is on pre-order, is available to pre-order on our website. Now, the ones I'm telling you about tonight, these dies are not in our sale. We never do our last two latest releases in our sales, purely because it's not fair on those of you that bought them full price in the last couple of months. So you can't get these on sale, but everything else that's Honeydew Crafts is on sale on our website. So the hexagon die is available to pre-order. Also, the Merry Christmas mistletoe die is also available. Good evening, Kathy. Is also available to pre-order. Again, both of those sold out really, really fast, and they will be in 31st-ish, maybe slightly before, maybe by the 1st. Anyway, in and around then, but they're available to pre-order. So that's the Christmas ones that went out of stock. Now we have very limited stock of those coming. And I don't need that on there now, actually. I can take that off and you can have me because I've got it here. We have very, very limited stock of those coming in, and over half of what we've got coming in has been pre-ordered. And then we are down to basic stocks on these. Isn't it typical that when I do the pre-order, good evening, Margaret, on both channels, both Margarets, good evening. Yeah, so believe it or not, as soon as I did the order, these all then went limited stock. So again, we're down to single figures on this one. The snowflake background die. We have got our fabulous Christmas floral decorations die. Good evening, Catherine. We have got snowflake panel and border die, and our holly sprigs die. So with the holly sprigs, you get the 2 left and right to use. Then with our snowflake panel, you'll get this lovely little panel here, and these fit on a 6x6 card, just so you've got an idea. And then you obviously got the little border piece as well. Then we've got our Christmas floral decorations die. So you get the actual detail die, and then you get the matting and laying section too. So you get this lovely bow with some holly either side. You get the bow that layers on top of it individually. You also get just the plain layer to it, and then again you get your fir cones with some pine sprigs, and again you get that to mat and layer it with as well. And then this fabulous snowflake background die. Now again, if you haven't seen it, we did a video on this, and it is amazingly handy to have some bubble wrap, and that is for everybody's dies that are on the market. If you've got a big die that sometimes parts of it might miss, every machine is different. Even if it's the same brand, it will still cut everything differently. Bubble wrap has been amazing. It's a hack that Mum saw on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or somewhere, and it's just amazed me how good it is. Right, so also tonight I will be using this one, and again, one of these dies has gone completely out of stock, apart from the empty packet I have in front of me. Good evening, Eileen. So again, this is on pre-order. So that is our Star Bright Flourish dies. So you get this lovely flourish, and then you get the 3 individual flowers, which matches with these 3. So that is also on pre-order, but again, it is only going to be, it's less than 10 days before it's back in. Evening, Rosemary. Evening, Betty. And then we've got the Simple Snowdrops die. Also, remember, these are not in the sale. One that I'll be using this evening is our Elegant Foliage die. So you get that lovely big individual foliage. Then we have got our Floral Curves die. Again, all of these have gone to single figures, just about on most of them. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, Margaret. Margaret says, love the snowflake background die. Made lots of cards with it. Good. Then we've got our Fragrant Corner dies. So you get this lovely big fragrant corner, and then the individual flowers to mat and layer that if you want to, or layer it, should I say. And then last but not least, this fabulous Fancy Frames die. Again, that's a really delicate die, and it just is so simple to use. So these 2 collections are not included in the sale, because as I say, those of you that have ordered it previously in the last couple of months, it's not fair to put that straight on the sale, in our sale. So these are not included in the sale. Right, so shall we move on to what we're using tonight? We are using our Elegant Foliage die. We're also using the Hexagon dies. Mine isn't in as pretty a packaging. Hence, see, this is my Hexagon packaging. Not anywhere near as pretty. Let me move these bits because I've layered this on top now. Here we go. We have got our Botanical display stamp set. Now, I'm sorry, Amanda, there is fussy cutting tonight. We will also be using the sentiment from our modern Posy. So we're going to be using sending happy birthday wishes. Why couldn't I get that out right? Right, we are also going to be using, we're doing a green and pink tonight. We're back to my favourites. We've got Kitsch Flamingo Distress Oxide. We've got the anti-static bag. We have got our sticky glue in the 2 sizes. We're also going to be using Versafine on its black, some blending brushes, our crystal clear embossing powder. We're also going to be using our white cardstock, which comes in the 2. Good evening, Jean. Glad you could join us. First time watching. Hi, first time of watching a live on time. Yay, that's what we like to hear. So you get it in 250 or 300 GSM. I'm also using black cardstock, but I forgot to bring any home with me to show you a full packet. But our black cardstock is also available on our website. So, oh, and pens. We are using believe it or not, it's back in stock. Yay, back in stock. I should have a big flashing back in stock, shouldn't I? Blender 999, light green 041, and good evening Janice, and wine red 024. So they are the pens we're using. Now, if you do go on and you do like our pens, there are a few new colours on there. They are only available, or you can only find them on the pen section. They're not in the new section because we just didn't have time to get them there as well. So they're on the pen section. I think there's 4 or 5 new colours. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. A few anyway that you'll be able to jump on and order if you want them. So, right, cardstock sizes now we need, don't we? Right, I'm going to put this lot so it doesn't roll away, and that we can come back to it if we need to. I don't think I need any of these. That's my glue that goes up there. So let me pop this out of the way. That drawer that I said I was going to keep empty to put my stuff out of the way so that they don't get damaged, it's not empty anymore. Right, so today you're going to be using lots, if you've got offcuts, lots of different little offcuts and bits and pieces that you have lying around. So as I said to you before, I've said before, keep all the offcuts. Good evening, Veronica. I hope you're feeling better. Nice to know you've joined us. Right, so let me get the measurements up. So we are a 7 by 7 blank card. And then we are also having a piece of black cardstock, which I have already stuck on there to save us a little bit of time. It is literally 1/8 of an inch smaller, just because I needed a card base. I didn't have a black one, and that worked to do that. So it just adds a little bit of colour to it. We've also got a piece of white cardstock, which I'm hoping is that one. Yep. It is 6 3/4 inch square. Nice. That one's a nice easy size. And that's just going to get layered on the top of that piece. We've then got scraps. So we have got a piece of white scrap card. We've got a piece of green scrap, and we've got a piece of watercolour, all offcuts that I've saved. Just because they're what I'm going to die cut, makes it easy. So as I said before, we're going to be using our hexagon and our elegant foliage die. So I'm going to cut those out first. I have already got them cut out, but I want to show you that they do not need too much work. I'm going to get my huge, great big die cut machine, which is going to mean this table's going to wobble for a little bit, which means you're going to get a bit wobbly for a minute. Now, with the larger hexagon, you do need to have one of the larger machines, the Big Shot Plus, the A4 size. So we do have the Big Shot Plus. So I'm just going to use the one machine for cutting everything tonight. Normally I just grab my little old Big Shot, which I adore and has been around forever. Right, so you've probably heard me say this before. I always put my dies flat to the mat. Cardstock on top, bubble wrap on top of that. Again, you don't have to use the bubble wrap on this one, but there's a lot of detail in it, and it just, if it means it saves you some cardstock, because maybe something gets missed, then I don't see why not to use it. So it is literally, I'm bashing the camera, so I've had to move this a little bit. It's the die, the cardstock, bubble wrap on top, cutting plate on top of that. Come back again. Ooh, I was very close to the edge on that. Here we go. And then that has literally just released itself so quickly. But it is stuck to my bubble wrap for a minute. Hang on a moment. And there we have it. Beautifully cut out, really detailed, elegant corner die. We're also going to need our hexagon die. So I'm just going to quickly cut that out. Now the choice is yours. I coloured my hexagon die afterwards, and I'll show you how I do that, which is why I've got to cut one out. But you don't have to. You can colour it before. You can do it on coloured cardstock. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. I'm using the bigger one for this. Again, you don't have to if you don't want to, but just pop that down, cardstock. I'm not going to use my bubble wrap on this one. I know I have faith in this one. I have faith in all of our dies. But that bubble wrap is just that extra little bit of help that some dies, because there's so much detail. Oh, what's going on here? I've got half my plates getting rolled through. There's so much detail on these dies these days. And the machines were never, ever designed to do quite so much. You can't get it perfect every time with the pressures. So it is really, really handy to find that little tip with the bubble wrap. It's really, really good idea. Now I might regret just doing what I just did, because it looks like the die had already released itself, but we'll find out in a moment. My goodness. Straight out, perfect cut. Okay, so I'll just clear this out of my way, and then we'll be able to carry on. Bear with me a moment. I just need to get that die out of there. I'm making a mess everywhere, and I'm trying to avoid making a mess, and you just make more of a mess, don't you? Again, do that the way. Now, if you're really clever and you position that die properly in a square that you're going to be using, you could. Let me just put this out of the way without rolling it all up for now. You could hide it underneath other stuff and keep it for another time. I don't know if I've been that clever. But look. So you could actually, if you'd have centered that in the middle, you could use that on the outside as just one of your matting layers, and you won't have wasted all that cardstock. So just a little tip, if you feel like it, or if you're tight with your cardstock, like I can be. Right, so as I said, I coloured my die after I'd cut it out, but that is entirely your choice, purely because I tend to use white cardstock and use my inks to colour them. And everybody's gone very quiet on me, including Amanda, which is very, very rare. I'm hoping it's not because we've lost anybody. For those of you that missed it when we first started, we have started our early bird bank holiday weekend sale on our website this evening. It started at 7 p.m. and it runs through until 10 p.m. on Saturday evening. So just for quickness, I have already done this, but literally all I'm doing, Kitsch Flamingo. I am holding the die because it isn't a very thick die. It's on cardstock, but there's a lot of it's a really fine, delicate die. So it's entirely up to you. You can stipple it if you would rather. And in fact, that's probably a bit of a better way to do it for me with this. But as I say, I have already done it. I'm not going to do the whole thing. You'll get the idea. And just wipe down where my ink is, because you know it all goes a long way. How time flies. Look, we've been on here 20 minutes already. Good grief. Right. Put that out of the way. So that's the only thing you're going to be doing with any of the distress inks tonight. Now, everybody has gone quiet. I'm not seeing anything from you from Facebook. Oh, sorry, not Facebook. From YouTube at all. So if you are on YouTube, just let me know that you're still managing to get through to us. So I'm just going to stick my white cardstock onto my black cardstock, because my 3 then become 2, or 1 should I say. There we go. Evening, Pat. So I use the sticky glue. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room to get this on here where you want it to be. Right, pop those to one side. We're then going to our watercolour cardstock. I'm going to get my stamp, which is here somewhere. There we go. See, I buried everything now. YouTube is definitely still not acknowledging me, so I'm hoping that you are still managing to see us. So we've got our botanical bouquet display. Lots and lots of ink on here. Lots and lots of little light taps. Oh, good, Michelle. That's good to hear. Thank you for letting me know. We are back up and running. I wonder what happened there. A little bit of a glitch. I'm just inking on the edge, stamping this on the edge. It's quite a big stamp again, and we are going on to watercolour cardstock, so that takes a few more minutes or a few more seconds to allow the ink to soak through. Thank you, Pat. At least we know that we're on both. It's always a good start. So, grab my trusty piece of cardstock, and so we're going to put crystal clear embossing powder over the top. Hi Eileen, thank you for letting me know. Light tap. Pop that back in. We're then going to stamp this out a second time. I know if you prefer to heat that up, you can. I just want that big flower in the middle. I'm not going to stamp the whole thing out, and it doesn't have to be stamped out perfectly, but I just need that centre flower, so we may as well just go the whole hog. I haven't inked the whole thing, but we might get the whole thing. But it's just that centre flower I want. And again, embossing powder over the top. Light tap to take the excess off. Don't do that too hard because the embossing, that ink, Versafine Onyx Black, is not friendly with the embossing powder. Somehow I managed to make a mess. Don't want it all over my floor. It's different when I'm at a show and I just flick it all on the floor or at the telly. Right, so I'm going to heat this. It's going to take a couple of seconds. I heat from underneath just to allow the embossing powder to melt and get a smoother finish. So if you've ever missed our heating embossing, that's why I do it from underneath. Gives us a smoother finish, puts a barrier between my heat gun and the embossing powder, and hopefully helps it prevent it from jumping around a bit too much on the paper. That's my idea anyway, and it seems to work most of the time. So I've done this onto watercolour cardstock because I wanted to blend the colours tonight. If I'm not blending these pen colours, I just tend to do it onto normal plain, our normal cardstock. 250 or 300 GSM works fine. But because I am blending, I have chosen the watercolour cardstock. It makes a huge difference. There are lots of different ones on the market. You just have to try. It's trial and error. I'm still using up little bits and pieces that I had of our fabulous one that we used to get from our wholesaler. They no longer sell it. So we have been trying lots of different ones. There are some very good ones on the market. It's quite difficult to get a white one. They quite often come through a bit creamy. But there are some tricks and tips that I've shared on previous events, lives, on how to get round that. So we're nearly there. Because this one is actually quite a creamy one. This is like toppest range, and it was crazy, wasn't it? So hence I'm not telling you to go and buy that because it's expensive, crazy money. I didn't pay for it, thank the Lord. Right, so we're going to go in with our colours. So we are using the wine red and the blender pen. Now I'm going to home you in a little bit more, hopefully, so you can see a bit closer what I'm doing. Don't look at my nails because I need redoing. Right, so pop a little bit of ink in the bottom here. It's entirely up to you where you do it. And then we are going to take the blender pen, pick up those colours and pull it out. Now obviously I have already done this because you don't want to sit and watch me colour this whole thing in, and you also don't want to sit and watch me cut this all out either. So I have already done the cutting out. So lay the colour down, take your blender pen, and you just pull that colour through. Now if you did it it sounds crazy, you'll see that I spin this paper around all the time. I'm going to do it the other way around for a moment. So I've spun it, oh, gone out of focus. So if I put the colour here, exactly the same place, but I blend it up this way, I do tend to blend in circular motions. You'll see that the colour stayed slightly stronger all the way up rather than fading out at the top here. And I quite like the fade out rather. Thank you, Pam. Pam says she loves the colour of my nails. They're left over from my holiday, Pam, so they desperately need redoing. It's just a red. I tend to go red. So that's the difference. And you'll notice I do it in circular motions. It means you don't get those lines. Don't forget the blotting of your ink, of your colouring. Again, we're using a red and it goes a million miles. So just take a piece of kitchen paper and blot it. You can see how much comes off. Also, you will see that my blender brush, how close can I come, has changed colour. And all I'm going to do is wipe that on some kitchen paper. I'm going to wipe the edge because I've obviously at some point put it in the wrong packaging, or wrong lid, and it's got red on it. But you'll see we've gone back to a neutral clear colour. Don't be scared to mix and match. You can also, if you're not happy blending, there's lots of different things you can do with these pens. You can do tip to tip, which means your watercolour blender brush, oh, there we go, there we go, it's picked up some of the colour, and you can just colour it that way. But it will fade out a lot quicker, a lot sooner. Or you can put it down on the mat, and you can use your blending brush and pick it up. And again, let's find another big chunky one to show you. You can pull that out. The colour will stay much stronger if you do it that way, for longer. So they are a couple of different options on what you want to do with this. That choice is entirely up to you. As I said, I have already done this and I've already cut them out. So would you believe it? This card is almost done because I've already done it. Again, the green, I just went in the centre here. You can do it whatever colour you want, obviously. And just blot that again. I mean, look how much comes off on the paper when you blot it. There we go. There you go. Just because that was very wet when I did it. Imagine if you just went like that, it's going to smudge it all the way across and then you'd be cursing. So make sure you remember to do that. Right. I'm going to just stretch us back out a little bit so you get to see a bit more. Right. So we've got our cardstock. We have also got, tangled up, our hexagon. We've got our cutout, our elegant foliage. Now I'm going to put that on there. Our elegant foliage is going to go on the top of this. This is a slightly different colour to the one that you saw me cutting out. Not much difference, to be honest. Hardly any difference. Just a slightly paler colour. I just didn't have any more of that one to show you. And then I had some other offcuts left over from before. And I've just kept a couple of pieces, or one piece of that, just to add in at the end, and you'll see in a minute what I mean. So that's the initial layout that we're going to do. But you do need to go in and cut these two pieces out. So the full one, I've gone round and cut that one out. Then I coloured the flower, just this big flower in the middle here, and I've cut that out. I have also gone in and cut around most of the petals. The only one I haven't cut on here is this one that's joined together here, purely because that base there is really, really, really tiny. And I didn't want to give the chance for that petal to fall off. So I've left that one connected, but all the others I've snipped right down to this middle centre here. And then all I've done is take, I had one on here, but I've obviously, you can never find them when you need them. There we go. Got a kebab stick, and I've literally just shredded it like you would curl ribbons on a present. And then with my nail here, just giving them a little bit of shape. Now, obviously it's watercolour cardstock, so it's a lot heavier weight cardstock, and actually sometimes it will hold its shape better for longer. So it's quite a nice one to do. So that's our next flower, and it then brings this all a bit 3D'd. So to begin with, I'm going to put those to one side, and I'm going to grab these the initial pieces. So if you haven't already seen this top tip, again, it's another one that Mum saw on, I need to open this out a bit further. Oh, wrong way. Another top tip Mum found on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or somewhere is the pastry brush one. So this is a silicone pastry brush that you just cut the ends off, so you've just got yourselves a little bit of a fringe, and we're going to use this to put glue on these really fine detailed dies. Now I say this every time and I forget every time. Do this on some scrap paper, then you don't have to keep cleaning all this glue off here. I don't know why I forget this every time. So you're just literally dabbing the glue on here. It means that glue touches most places, but you're not going to get blobs come out and it's going to stick and move and do all those weird and wonderful things. So I'm just going to wipe that glue away. One day I will remember to put scrap paper underneath me. And take the card. We're going to pop this on here. It is still tacky, but it's not really heavy glued. Don't know why I'm being quite so picky about where I position it. But so hexagon down. Then we're going to do the same with our elegant foliage. And having said that, I'm going to grab myself a piece of scrap paper. Probably a bit too good a piece of scrap paper if I'm honest, but hey ho. And again, just dabbing it all over. You're all very quiet tonight. Have I scared you all off because look, you've got to do some fussy cutting? I don't know. Hopefully not. The worst bit is die cutting, the details on die cutting. Can you imagine if I was asking you to fussy cut that? I think not. So, it would have helped if I hadn't see, look. I was better at doing it where I was doing it. Right, back in on our card. We're going to position this over the top of that die and stick that down. Hi Joan, glad you're busy watching, Tina. So then we've got that kind of a look. And you're not going to see any of this because we're going to stick it over the top in a moment. So we're going to take these two. Now this one I've left completely flat, no dimension. It's literally, I've just cut it out. One thing I will say about fussy cutting on something that's got a black line. When you cut it, keep your scissors at a slight angle. Don't go in like this. Cut it slightly if you can so that you get like a chamfered edge, so to speak, a slope on the outside, and that will help hide some of that white or cream cardstock. Spending money, Pat, what you like. So we are going to position this on here. So take our sticky glue. Now obviously I'm not using a pastry brush for this one because we want to put some glue on here. We don't want to just show it some glue. We want this to hold its watercolour cardstock so it's heavier weight. So I'm putting plenty on there, but not enough that it's going to ooze out again. We just want all those little bits and pieces to stick down. So I'm going to stick that one on there. So you've still got that elegant foliage die peeking out from underneath. And if you wanted to, you could layer some of these up and shape those if you were so inclined. And then we're going to put our fabulous big flower on as well. That's up to you now whether you want to line this up with the petals that you've cut it out to match, or whether you want to just leave it and put it on squiffy. That's your choice. I've done my best to line it up with the one I cut out. The one that's underneath, so to speak. So the cut out one I've lined up as best I can with the one underneath. Get rid of my little bit of extra glue I've got here. I'm just going to quickly wipe over the top of that. Clean that properly afterwards. And then we've got a lovely sentiment from our Modern Bouquet. A Modern Posy, not Bouquet, Modern Posy stamp set. And all I've done is I've put a tiny little, tiny piece of black on there. And the piece of pink that I've inked around the edge is white that I've inked around the edge with the same colour that I've used on the hexagon die, the nesting hexagon. So this is the largest nesting hexagon I've used here. I'm then going to pop this on here. Now I'm not pushing this down yet because I want to take in a little bit. See, I knew I'd do that too early. A little bit of this, so just want to tuck it under there. And there we have it. A really simple, easy card to make. But I actually think it's really effective. I've got that sentiment on straight as it's going to be, I think. It's really, really effective. This really pops it. I absolutely adore this. And I know those of you that have already got this have sent me some fabulous pictures of what you've done with this particular stamp. I'm just going to come in and let me just wipe this glue up so that we don't spread it around again. And then I will bring the card up. We'll bring you in to see the card. And then we'll run through again what we've used for it. Those of you that are just joining us and have missed the announcement, we have started our early bird bank holiday sale this evening. So you'll be able to jump on and, right, can we bring this down to this? Oh, gone in too far now. There we go. So it's a 7x7 card. It's got a little bit of dimension with your flower. So it may need a box or a slightly bigger envelope, maybe an 8x8 envelope if you're going to pop it in the post. But there you go. Clean, well, I say clean and simple, but it's a bit more fussy than I normally would do. But I really love it. And I can't wait to see what all of you do. Now, I've also got one here that I did previously that in oranges. Oranges, it's actually red and yellow, red with the yellow pulling it out, which makes it the orangey colour. So you could do the same thing, just change up the colours. So if pinks and greens are not your thing, you could do it with oranges. Again, would look really pretty. So that's that card. Really, and it looks 3D'd, really 3D, I think. But there you go. That's what I thought I would share with you. And again, if you wanted to, you could take your elegant foliage additional one that I've got cut out here and place that on the inside so you're bringing the whole thing through. And that would look really pretty. So I'm glad you like it, Carol. Beautiful card, thank you. Carol, thank you very much. And Jean, go play. You've got the stamp, use it. Right, so what do I need to tell you about? Trying to think where we're going. I'm going to put this to one side, hopefully without making too much mess with everything else. If I just get me for a moment, I'm just going to clear up quickly 2 seconds with these bits so that I don't dump anything on the top. So what do I need to tell you about? So I have told you all about the sale having started, and that goes on till Saturday evening. And then the other thing I need to tell you about, oh, I'm about to drop a load of stuff on the floor. See, I told you I would drop stuff. Well, I'm trying to find the bit. I've put so much stuff on top of everything. So our next Facebook Live should technically be, I think it's the 4th of September, but we are heading off to do a workshop very early the next morning. So I have got to have all of this packed up. So I can't do the Facebook Live that night. So we are moving it back to the following week, which is the 11th of September. So our next Facebook Live will be Thursday, the 11th of September. Thank you all very much for saying beautiful card. I'm glad you liked it. Then we've got the Motorcycle Museum on the 13th of September. That's, I say the Motorcycle Museum, it's the Excalibur Papercraft Show on the 13th of December. I'm quick, there's winter gone. September in at the Motorcycle Museum, Coventry Way. It's across the road from the NEC. So we will be there as well, and that's on the 13th. And that's all I need to really tell you about. We will very likely have a new release on our next Facebook Live. We are not doing TV in September. We will be back on TV in October, and that is Hobby Maker. We will be staying with Hobby Maker for the time being. You never say never, but we love it there at the moment. Everybody's so friendly, and it's a really nice place to be. So it's nice that we are planning on staying. Thank you, Linda. We're all very well. I hope you are too. Yeah, so we are on Hobby Maker, and that, I believe, off the top of my head, is the 6th of October. I didn't check that before I came on. But so we're not far into October, just we are taking September off TV. Purely because there's only so many hours in the day, everybody. So yeah, that's what we will be doing. Let me run through quickly again the other couple of bits I wanted to tell you that we went through. So if you missed the start, we have got the dies that went out of stock are available to pre-order on our website. So if you are after the hexagons that we have just used, they're available to pre-order on our website. These are not part of our sale. The last 2 die releases are not part of the sale. So the Christmas dies, which includes this one, and the last floral range that we released are also not in the sale. And that's for those of you that have recently bought them. It's not fair to then whack them in the sale this quickly. So they are not in the sale, but all of the Honeydew Crafts products are. So this one is available to pre-order. We have also got our mistletoe die available to pre-order. And then we have also got, I've got the empty package for the other one. So I will show you that one in a minute. So there's 3 that are on pre-order that are coming back in. The others are all quite low stock levels. So let's have my screen back. And let's stretch us back out again. So we've got our snowflake background die, which is now down to single figures. We've also got our holly sprigs die. And we have got our snowflake panel and border dies. Again, all of these are on single figures. And then we've got our Christmas floral decorations die. Tina and Margaret will both be on holiday for our next live. I hope you have a fabulous time. Tina, I know you will have a fabulous time. Tina's going on her first cruise. So they are the Christmas dies that are all available. And as I say, the mistletoe and the hexagon dies are both pre-order. Then we have the Star Bright Flourish dies. This one is also on pre-order, and they will be with us just over a week's time. So not long to wait, but we are on limited stock on them all already that are pre-ordered. when you order stuff, we have a minimum order we have to do, which is quite a large minimum order. We did over and above the minimum order, and they're still becoming limited already. So thank you all very much. I'm so pleased you've enjoyed all of our dies. Dies are always a difficult one for me to design because I'm a stamper to start with, and so I design my stamps like my dies like I design my stamps. So Elegant Foliage, you've just seen us use. You can see just how useful that one is, and I adore it. We've got our Simple Snowflake dies. Again, a lovely corner flourish. Then we've got our Floral Curves die. This is the one you saw me use on the last Facebook Live. We also did it on the same demonstration on TV. So if you missed last Facebook Live demo, it's available over on our website or on our YouTube channel for you to go and have a look at. Fragrant Corner die, which has this lovely big die corner, obviously. And then you've got the 3 flowers to mat and layer that. And then last but not least, our Fancy Frames die. Again, a really delicate frame. Beautiful, beautiful die. We've pushed our die manufacturers to the limit, I think. So you get me again. So, my goodness, that went quick. I know we're not quite a full hour tonight, but you saw, I know I coloured it in ahead, but I did kind of show you how to colour it in, so that took up that time. The only bit you didn't see me do was cut it all out. So today's card was as you see. So we've got our nesting hexagons, we've got our Elegant Foliage die, we've got our Botanical display stamp set, and our sentiment is from our Modern Posy stamp set. I think that's everything from me. You've all been very quiet, so I hope you've enjoyed today's Facebook Live. Kathy's put, love using Elegant Foliage, so versatile. It is. You can just use it on anything. I mean, imagine doing something like that. You could do this in lilacs. It's a really, really delicate card, and it would make a really nice sympathy card. We will have to make sympathy cards at some point. And just as easily, it can be a really bright, beautiful celebration card. Make a beautiful wedding card. Make a nice engagement card. So you could use it for absolutely anything. So don't look at these things and think, I can only use it on its own and I can only use it as Amanda's using it. You can use it in so many different ways. I've had my hair cut and I've had the colour change slightly, and I'm arguing with myself about it at the moment. So sorry, I keep fiddling with it. Yeah, so I think that's everything I need to tell you about. So those of you that haven't already heard, the sale is launched on our website now. So it's our early bird sale. If you want to get it, get there quick, because once it's gone, and it finishes on Saturday. The pre-order dies are available on there again, but not in the sale. And I think that's everything I need to tell you about. So hopefully lots of you will be able to join us on Thursday, the 11th of September. If you can't make us then, you may be able to see us at the Botanical Museum Excalibur Papercraft Fair on the 13th of September. And other than that, have a lovely